She designed a beautiful room, every piece selected with intention. The lighting, the layering, the way the rug anchored the whole space. The client said, I love it. And then they never came back. Not a complaint, not a bad review, just silence. The designer couldn't figure out why. I'll tell you why. It wasn't the room was stunning. It was everything around the room. Welcome to The Real Place. I'm Milton Flournoy. Today, we're talking about the experience your clients are actually paying for and how most designers only deliver half of it. I'm a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt and the founder of Obsidian Success. Today's truth: interior design, the product is the room, but the experience is everything that happens before the room exists and after the client sits down in it. Let that sit. And the experience is what gets you referrals. Sit with that. The experience here is what the client wants repeated. The experience is the business. Interior designers really focus and hone in on the experience. Mm. 3 moments that define a client relationship. Sit with that. Every interior design engagement has 3 moments that matter more than the design itself. First, the discovery. This is your intake, your consultation, your first communications, the time you first sit down with the client. Most designers treat this as information gathering. Here, square footage, style, budget, but the client is actually answering a few different questions here, especially for them. Can I trust this person? Here, inside my home, inside my life? The discovery isn't logical. It's relational and emotional. Sit with that for a moment. What are you really delivering to your clients? Second moment, the in between. This is the phase nobody talks about. Weeks 2 through 10, 2 through 5, products are ordered, contractors on site, the clients living in construction, living in the chaos zone. So their daily life is disrupted. This is where most client relationships quietly fracture, not because of the design, because of the silence, or because of the chaos, because nobody told them what to actually expect, because they texted on a Tuesday and didn't hear back until Thursday. That's 48 hours. Think about that. Of silence. The in between is where trust is either built or quietly withdrawn. Moment 3, the reveal, the after. The reveal is your moment, your time to shine. You've earned it. But the after is often abandoned. The client moves back into the space. Life resumes. 3 months later, a friend visits and asks, who did this? How does the client respond? What does the client say? Does the client give your name very clearly and direct? Do they have a card? Do they even remember your website or where they found you? Does the referral die in the gap between a beautiful room and no follow through? Take that in. How many designers have you met and it goes nowhere? It just dies. It dies in client conversations. And oh, remember her? Yeah, she did my room. I just can't place it. I don't remember. Mid-range residential designer, skilled, growing, but every project ends with the same quiet fade out. I ask, what does your client hear from you between the proposal, approval, and the install day? She thinks, I send updates when there's something to report. But what about the in between? What are you doing in that in between? There's a gap. Clients don't define something to report. the way the designer does. To a designer, no news is good news. Product is on its way, timeline is tracking. To a client, living in disruption, no news is anxiety. Disruption. What's going to happen next? Anticipation. We build a simple communication cadence. We close the gap. A weekly pulse message, not a status report. 3 sentences. Here's where we are. Here's what's coming. And here's what, if anything, I need from you. A pre-reveal preview. Before install day, the client gets a reminder of what the vision was. Not the final photos, just the original mood board or rendering. A note. Tomorrow, this becomes real. That's theater. Good theater. A 30-day follow-up. One call, one question. Now that you've been living in the space, is there anything you'd change? Oftentimes, no, but sometimes yes. The last one closes the loop. Think about that, because the client feels seen, not just served. They understand that you delivered on the promise. You gained trust, you built a relationship, and you pushed. Here's 3 traps that often occur. 1, letting your craft carry the relationship. Beautiful work is the entry fee. It is not the relationship. Clients work with people they trust. They refer people they felt cared for by. Those are different standards. 2, scaling your design process without scaling your client experience. As you grow, the work gets distributed. Junior designers, contractors, vendors, but the client still feels like they're working with you. If your communication quality drops when you hand off, the client feels it, even if they can't name it. Think about that. So if you grow, keep that communication seamless. 3, forgetting that the home is personal. It's funny. My girlfriend is an interior designer, so she often says, I want people's homes to hug them once I'm finished. You are not furnishing an office. You are shaping the space where someone will grieve, celebrate, heal, and rest. Every client is inviting you into something sacred. The designers who understand that don't just get repeat clients. They get clients for life. They get friends. They develop long-lasting relationships, and they progress. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of a few of those. And believe me, being in those rooms, being around those individuals is great. The room you design will outlast this project, but the experience of working with you, that lives in your client's recommendation or their silence. Here is your challenge. Map your client journey, not the design process, the human journey. From the first email, DM, message to 30 days after install. Write down every touch point. Then ask yourself, at which moment does the client feel most in the dark, most anxious, most forgotten? That's where you build next. Because the best room in the world, wrapped in a difficult experience, is a missed opportunity. Sit with that real quick, just for a moment. You miss the pure opportunity if you make the experience too difficult, too arduous. And you're too talented for that. I'm Milton Flournoy. This is The Real Place. Design the room and then design the relationship. I'll see you on the next one.